Yeah, even in Rome, you had something called the vomitarium. You had the Romans; they would eat so much.
That's called gluttony.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
called gluttony, man.
Con,
When you just eat for pleasure,
right.
not for nourishment. You eat and you get full, then you eat more. That's gluttony, man.
Yeah, then they would throw up Chuck.
See that you got that all you can eat stuff. We used to go to them damn places, but that's a sin right there, brother. That's wickedness, man.
That's wickedness, gluttony. Yeah.
Because then you get your mind set to see how much junk you can stuff down your damn mouth, man.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know,
that's true. All you can eat, yeah.
All you can eat. That's demonic right there, man.
Yeah, that Fat Boy song. Oh, you can eat.
Yeah. Hey, man, you eat. You put something before your plate and you eat it. You get your nourishment, then you go.
Then you go.
That's it, man. Here you are, fool. And you still stuffing chicken wings down your throat, man.
Yeah. Hey, the scriptures say, "Let us therewith be content," and having food and remnant, let us therewith be content. So the scriptures speak about being content. Hey, that's heavy, man. What Apostle Elatar just said. So those all you can eat places, man. that's really wicked.
The devil's in the back cooking.
Hey, Shalom brothers, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. This is your brother Ayathun, back at you with another video. And yeah, man, you see it on the screen here. Don't live to eat, eat to live. Don't live to eat to live. Don't live to eat to live. Let that resonate. When you eat to live, you're committing a sin called gluttony. Gluttony is frowned upon by the Most High. As a matter of fact, even the wacky-tacky Christians, they consider gluttony as one of the deadly sins. And you know what? If you take that literally, gluttony literally is a deadly sin, because gluttony leads to obesity, and obesity leads to death. And if you don't, it doesn't lead you to obesity. It may have led you to death first by way of high cholesterol, stroke, heart attack, and all manner of different diseases. You'll have insulin issues, pancreas issues, liver problems, kidney problems. Your hormones are going to be all out of whack. Your body's going to be sluggish. You're going to feel like crap. You're going to move like crap. In the scriptures, in the book of Leviticus, the Most High gave us dietary laws. What you should eat, what you should not eat, and how to use the herbs. That the herbs are there to eat. And the scriptures say that the herbs are the medicine of the earth, or rather the medicines of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Here in America, they teach you to abhor medicines, which are herbs and greens. And they want you to be meat-centric. In other words, they want you to revolve around meat and junk food. Shit that'll kill you. Now, the apostles were speaking about the all-you-can-eat restaurants and all that. Do you know that's actually in the scriptures and it's against the scriptures? I'm going to get it. But first, what I'm going to do is I want to go into... I'm going to go into the etymology. Hold on, that's not what I wanted. I want to go into the etymology of gluttony. Here we go. Gluttony. Extravagant indulgence of appetite. Circa 1200. Gluttony. From Old French gluttony. Debauchery. Now, when you think of debauchery, you think of immoral sexual acts. Well, excuse me. Another form of debauchery is gluttony. Because they have something called food porn. If you don't believe me, go on Google right now and do a search on food porn. It's a thing. Matter of fact, I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now. Why not? In case you don't believe me, food porn. And you'll see it's a thing. See? Hold on. It says food porn is a glamorized visual presentation of cooking or eating in advertisements, infomercials, blogs, cooking shows, or other visual media. Food porn often takes the form of food photography with styling that presents the food provocatively in a similar way to glamour photography or pornographic photography. Hey, Slocky, man. Hey, I just want to preface this video by saying that hey, I don't want nobody to take offense. Look, I got my own shit I'm dealing with, you know, my own demons. You know, gluttony just happens to be not one of them, you know. But trust me, brothers, I'm dealing with some shit. Some brothers are dealing with this, and sisters. I had to say mostly black women are dealing with this this demon, you know, and this mostly black women are dealing with this demon, and a lot of Jakes are dealing with this demon here called gluttony. Now, reading this, I'm laughing because when you got them spirits of gluttony on you, you know, when you got the spirits of gluttony on you, reading this, because look, what I'm about to say, I could derive this just from this description, because I know what Esau does. Esau, they study, you know, they study food and they study photography and they study how to make food look very appealing in commercials and on billboards and things like that. You know, they study the angles, they study the color. They'll sit there and they'll actually color and spray paint food to make it look appealing. But when somebody with the spirit of gluttony looks at a cheeseburger on a billboard, to them is just like, you know, if I'm driving by a billboard and I see a badass woman, you know, with a wet t-shirt on, where her nipples popping out, you know, that's how people with gluttony see food, you know, is a literal porn to them. You know what I'm saying? But back to the to the etymology. It says extravagant indulgence of appetite, circa 1200. Gluttony, from Old French gluttony, which is debauchery. Okay, so what we're gonna do next? Let's jump to the scriptures. In the scriptures, you type in glutton. There's actually four results, and actually they call the Lord a glutton. They call him gluttonous. Behold, a man gluttonous and a winebibber, because usually they associate gluttony is usually associated with drunkards. You know. Now I'm gonna go up to Proverbs 23, and it says, "For the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty, and drowsiness shall clothe a man with rags." So as you can see, gluttony is highly frowned upon by the Most High. So if that's the spirit you have on you, then just pray to the Most High pray to the Most High. Get around brothers, man. You got brothers in every camp, and if not, you don't have a brother like that in your camp, message the elders or something, man. But you got brothers in every camp that are health-centric brothers, and that's, you know, to help the brothers that are not. You know, you got brothers that are knowledgeable in herbs and juicing and how to lose weight. You got brothers that are nutritionists. You got brothers that are trainers. Man, you better go seek them. You know what I mean? You can seek them on a low. Send them a text, give them a call, send them a text message. Be like, yo, brother, you know, can you help? Can you help me out? Because look, man, when you try to get rid of certain demons, you need fucking support, man. And we're each other's support teams. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be. Every single camp, all of us, we're supposed to be each other's support team. And and when if a brother is suffering from the sin of gluttony, you know what I'm saying? Like help that brother out. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's go to the Apocrypha, because I want to go get into this all you can eat and mannerisms and shit like that. So this is Sirach 31 in Apocrypha, and this is starting at 12, right? It says, if thou sit at a bountiful table, right? A bountiful table would be synonymous to what? All you can eat, or a buffet. Okay, now what this is going into is more so when you're for instance, invited to somebody's household. You know, and I'm going to say this, man, that you brothers out there and you sisters, you got to watch your manners, you know, when you're around brothers and when you're in the world, around the 2/3 or out in the world. You got to watch your manners, how you behave yourself. Because, look, all of us have we all have a conscience, right? And even the scriptures say that Israel, they do things according to the law that they're not even aware of. You know, like for instance, most Jake, they eat their meat well done because it's something in their spirit. So we all have a thing in our spirit that when somebody does something niggerish, even if they're a brother or whether they're not, it puts like a mental note in your head, and you kind of like look at that person sideways, and not willingly or not voluntarily is. I mean, you know what I mean? It just is because it's a spiritual thing. Right? So what I want to say is when you're around brothers in the world, out in the world, you should watch yourself, watch your mannerisms. And that goes into how you speak to people, how you speak to brothers, what you say out there in the world, how you carry yourself, and especially even when you're eating, and if you feel comfortable being a glutton or just breathing food through your nostrils, or if you feel comfortable sitting there just breathing a whole plate of food through your nostrils around a certain company, then that company is bad company for you because they should be saying some shit to you. All right, so this is Sirach 31 starting at 12. If thou sit at a bountiful table, be not greedy upon it, and say not there is much meat on it. Right? And you got niggas, they come for the Passover for that same reason. We used to, in the school, we used to have dudes that would come to Passovers, cookouts for that same reason because they knew there was going to be much meat. Right? So it goes into the mentality of a glutton, how to fight it. If thou sit at a bountiful table, be not greedy upon it, meaning refrain yourself. And you got certain dudes they got a demon, they can't refrain themselves. Nigga women, they got like 6, 7, 10 shrimps in their mouth. They got a tail sticking out of their mouth, chewing the shit, and they still trying to stuff more. That's a glutton, man. It says, and say not there is much meat on it. Verse 13, remember that a wicked eye is an evil thing. When you look at a plate of food and it looks like the kingdom of heaven to you, hey, that's not cool, man. There's something wrong with you. All right. It says, and what is created more wicked than the eye? Therefore it weepeth upon every occasion. Verse 14, stretch not thine hand whithersoever it looketh, and thrust it not with him into the dish. Again, man, this is going into your mannerisms, especially if you're around people, brothers or not, they not brothers. You don't go and just putting your hands in everything, man. Because they're going to be talking about you. When you leave, they're going to be talking about you. While you're there, they're going to be talking about, they're going to be giving each other the eye. Like, yo, psst. You know how chicks do when women and in a club and all that, when they trying to tell the girl like, yo, can you get rid of this nigga for me? And they give them that look. You know what I'm saying? They give them that eye, that look. Like, yo, this motherfucker right here. Yeah, dude's gonna be doing that shit. And they're gonna be talking about you after. And it's because, like I said, gluttony is not cool. It says, stretch not thine hand whithersoever it looketh, and thrust it not with him into the dish. Right? Especially invite into somebody's house, man. If you have somebody's house mannerisms, and it's a shit that I personally learned even in the world growing up. You don't go to somebody's house and be a nigga and just empty out their fridge, or they invite you to a table and you just grabbing every fucking thing. Or even if you're still a little hungry and they offer you, you got to learn how to say, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to create a name for yourself. A reputation is there's a scripture, I forget, that tells how important a reputation is. A good name, A good name will make your business explode. You got a good name or a good reputation and the word of mouth goes around, that could make you a millionaire. Or you could have a bad name and it could leave you in poverty, right? So verse 15, judge not thy neighbor by thyself, and be discreet in every point. Verse 16, eat as it becometh a man those things which are set before thee, and devour not, lest thou be hated. Like I said, you go to somebody's crib, or even if you're at a restaurant or anywhere and you're around a bunch of people, like I said, in the world or even a brotherhood, they're gonna be looking at you sideways. I remember one time, man, when I was when I was young, and there used to be a all-you-can-eat buffet. It was called Ponderosa. I remember I went there. My mother used to take us there, and I remember, man, one time I was eating, and across the table there was this big fat black woman, and man, she was just scarfing down chicken wings and whatever. And I remember I looked and I literally got upset to my stomach. I felt like I got nauseous. I wanted to throw up because the way she was just scarfing that thing down was like it was oxygen, you know? And her lips were all shiny, and it wasn't because she had lip gloss on. She had grease all over her lips, whether it was chicken grease, pork grease, I don't know, but her lips were blinging like it was blinging like a damn iced out watch, you know, from all the chicken grease on there. And I remember I sat there and I got so disgusted I wanted to throw up, you know, right where I was sitting at, you know. So it's not cool, man. It's not cool. Verse 17, it says, leave off first for manners, right? As I said, mannerisms. Leave off first for manners' sake, and be not unsatiable, lest thou offend. Offend the brotherhood, man. You know? Offend the brotherhood. It says, verse 18, when thou sittest among many, reach not thy hand out first of all, right? So, you know, you be around brothers be like, yo, hey, I got some whatever here. Any brother wants some? You know, you don't want to be the dude that you're always the first one to be like, yeah, I'll take some of that. You know, you don't want to be the first dude to reach your hand in a bag or whatever. Sometimes you want to refrain or wait a little bit. Like I said, it's all just knowing how to carry yourself. You know, it's all just being a Jedi in this world and among brothers, and whether you're among brothers or not among brothers. You know. You gotta learn how shit works, man. How people form opinions, this and that. You gotta just be balanced, man, and watch what you do. You know what I mean? It says, when thou sittest among many, reach not thine hand out first of all. Verse 19. A very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured. And Apostle Tahar said this in the video, right? All you need is a little bit. In America, they teach you gotta stuff your face. You know? But in reality, all you need is a little bit. Now, I'm currently on a juice fast, right? I'm currently going on 2 weeks of a juice fast. That means nothing but liquid. You know, I ate one time a week ago, or a week and a half ago, I think. Whatever. I ate one time not too long ago while I was on my juice fast. And that was because, you know, I took my mother out to eat and I had a salad, right? Other than that, it's straight juice. And when you go on a fast like that, when you go on like a juice fast, I've done a lemonade cleanse in the past, and you know what, man? After about 3 days, that feeling of hunger, even a Day of Atonement, man. If you notice, as the years go by, the Day of Atonement gets easier and easier, right? But after about 3 days on a fast, that appetite for food just goes away. So, excuse me. Then you start realizing, like, damn, I'm not even hungry, and I didn't eat like I normally eat, and I'm not even hungry. Why? Because in reality, little is sufficient for a man. Just a little bit is sufficient for you. Now, for brothers out there that work out and bodybuild, you know, there's a common thing out there, a misconception that you need to eat 1 gram of protein per body weight. So you got niggas out there eating 2-3 whole chickens because they trying to get in 4, 5, 6,000 calories a day. You know, and they got to eat 300 grams of protein and this and that. Well, if you're eating like that, man, you're gonna end up with issues. You know. In reality, you don't need that much. That's all marketing. That's to have you going out there buying protein powder and buying this and that. In reality, there was a scientific study done by the University of North Carolina. This had to be probably like at least 10 years ago. And they proved that that's bullshit. And I believe the number they came up with was 0.62. In our reality, you need 0.62 grams of protein per body weight. And that's if you're lifting weights, you know. And all that 1 gram shit, basically you're just going to get fat. You're going to get fat because you're going to end up eating in a what they call that? You got a calorie deficit, and then you got an opposite, which is I forget the term, but basically you're gonna start bulking up. You're gonna get fat, because at that point you're just eating calories. Them dudes that eat 1 pound, that eat 1 gram of protein, 1.5, 2 grams. That's for dudes on steroids. That advice is for guys on steroids because they're roided up, so their muscles rebuild much quicker than a natural man, And when it's rebuilding, it needs food, it needs nutrition, so the muscle could properly rebuild. That's when you need 1 gram, 1.5, 2 grams. Now, especially if you're not working out, you just need a little bit. So if you're out there buying what they call them shits? I haven't went to Mickey D's in so damn long. You out there buying them bonus meals, supersize, and you eating big ass hamburgers and fries and this and that, a big ass breakfast, a big ass lunch, snacks in between. Then you're doing too much, man. You're doing way too much, Now, verse 19 says, very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured. Now, let me say this, and this is what made me think about the juice fast, is that, man, I'm bursting with energy. My stomach is flat, like back, reminiscent of high school. My stomach is flat. I thought I had fucked up posture. I thought my posture was messed up. So I was doing corrective exercises, which it is a little bit, because I sit down a lot. Most of us have messed up postures. So I've been doing corrective exercises. But usually when you have weak posture is, especially when you have something called pelvic tilt, anterior pelvic tilt, is when you have something what they call like a skinny fat. A brother could be skinny, but it looks like he got a gut. That's usually from a weak stomach, right? Now, what I noticed is that doing a juice fast and basically emptying out my colon and my stomach being flat, then in reality, my posture is not as bad as I thought it was. What it was is that I needed to cleanse my colon, and my colon, my ab muscles couldn't properly contract. So now when I flex my abs, now I get a nice flat stomach and my posture is nice and straight because my abs are able to flex because they're not it's not backed up and stuffed with food. You know what I'm saying? So, going on, very little sufficient for a man well nurtured. Another reason why I don't feel hungry as I was when I was going on just a normal diet, even though it was healthier than an average American diet, because I'm what they call so-called live a so-called healthy lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. I was still I wasn't juicing, so I wasn't getting the nutrients like I am now. Most of the times when you're hungry and you're unsatiable is because you're eating food that has empty calories. So you're not really hungry. Your body's telling you like, yo, mother sucker, I need nutrients. I need macronutrients. I need vitamins. I need magnesium. I need potassium. I need selenium. I need all these different nutrients that you're not giving me. So your brain, the only thing it knows, it needs nutrient dense food. So it's telling you that you're hungry. You're hungry. You see what I'm saying? Now, when you're eating like a fat rat, you're eating empty calories. Plus the foods are GMO. So the GMO foods have chemicals in them that tell your brain, yo, I'm hungry. That smells so damn good. That cake tasted good. That sweet tea tasted good. Them fries taste good. I need some more. And it's literally sending signals to your brain telling you to eat some more. So here it is. You're getting signals from your body telling you to eat more junk food. Literally have you addicted to food that has empty calories. And then on top of that, you got your body sending signals to your brain telling you like, yo, I need nutrients. So you're getting hit with a double whammy. Now, when you start juicing or you eat properly, right, you're getting nutrients to your body. You're getting nutrients, and therefore, them signals to your brain, they stop, and you feel satiated, That's why when you look at a lot of times you see movies, or if you ever been to one of them bougie restaurants, right, When you go to them bougie restaurants, they give you a small plate. And you might pay like $60, $40, $60, right? $50, $60 for a plate of some protein, some veggies, and maybe some carbs. And then you look at this shit, you're like, damn, what the hell is this gonna do? It's a little tiny ass piece of meat. Here's the difference though. You're getting quality meat versus quantity. You're getting a quality piece of meat. Now, when you eat that piece of meat with the mashed potatoes and them vegetables that are non-GMO, that are raised in a garden, probably from a local garden, you're paying that money because guess what? When you eat that little ass piece of food, man, you're good for the whole day and you're baffled. Like, what the hell? I'm not even hungry, right? Why? Because it's quality food. It's a little piece of meat, but it's nutrient dense. Them vegetables got nutrients in it. The carbs got nutrients in it. You know, they all play their roles. And they got the macronutrients in it. They got the phytochemicals and the greenery. Stuff they don't teach you about. This stuff that I'm telling you, they don't teach you about in school. And they should. But you eat like that, you don't need to eat 6 meals, all the meals a day. If you're eating like that, you won't even be hungry. You come to a point that if you do it, you're just stuffing yourself. You see? So when you're going when you're submitting the proper nutrition to your body, you really don't need that much. And then what the side effect is, you're not stacking on pounds because you're not eating empty calories. You see? There's a myriad effect. All right. Now I'm going off into a little I don't know if you want to call it a rant or whatever, but everything is relevant. You know, I'm going back to the scriptures, so I want to say this, right? A little education. I said that the foods that they give you out there, the GMO foods, they're made in the lab. That's the kitchen. Apostle Tahar said the devil is cooking the food. Well, he is cooking the food, and his kitchen is a laboratory. You see? In a laboratory, they think of different chemicals to get you hooked on foods and to make you want more, right? Now, let me tell you what they're doing. What they're doing is they're mimicking nature. Because here's another thing that happens when you eat that junk-ass food. When you eat junk food, check this out. Our bodies operate on electricity. We all give electromagnetic signals, right? All of us. Your heart gives off we all have a field, invisible electrical field around us. That's why when somebody's creeping up behind you, you can feel it. In complete darkness, you can feel like somebody's creeping up behind you. Even spirits, you might turn around, there's nothing there. You feel like a spirit is behind you. You're feeling that electrical energy, right? Cats, dogs, animals, they can feel the electrical energy. You got animals out there that have a much bigger sense of, they could sense electric energy way more than we can, like eels. That's how eels navigate. They set out electrical impulses, electromagnetic energy, right? So they're way more keen, you see? But anyway, back to the point is that all living organisms operate on electricity, including humans, right? That's why when a man is paralyzed, what does that mean? If a man can't move his arm or his foot or whatever, all that means is that there's a loss of an electrical signal to that part of the body. That's what that is. It's that's why Esau got certain chips now. They got the chip, this one that Elon Musk is marketing. What that chip does, the reason why it can heal a man that's paralyzed, right? The reason why, or a man that's lame, which I wish I did, you could do that with spiritual power. The reason why what the chip does, those implants, all they do is restore the electrical signal from the brain to that part of the limb of your body. Because we run on electricity, on voltage. Now what happens when you eat this junk food is that your body becomes acidic. When your body becomes acidic, what happens is your cells in your body, they start operating on low voltage. That's why you become sluggish and you start feeling like shit. Another symptom of obesity or gluttony is you get moody as fuck. You get moody because your hormones are in a rage. You start getting moody. You have an attitude problem. You know, you build up estrogen. There's a myriad of effects. This is why the Most High gave us dietary restrictions and dietary guidelines. You see? Now, when your body becomes acidic, your cells start operating at low voltage. Now, this is what happens. When you eat foods, right? These foods, I don't give a damn where you buy them from. They all have spores. They have eggs on them from different parasites and different foods. You swallow them. Now, if your body is at a proper alkaline or proper pH balance, and your gut is healthy and your body is healthy, you're eating the right foods, your body can destroy those spores, those parasites. It can handle that. You see? Now, another thing is the spores, what the spores are looking for, they're looking for compost, right? Compost is like shit, you know? When you go to the garbage, you got that rotting food, that's compost. You use that. You can use that to grow plants. You can also use shit. It's basically what I'm trying to say. You can use that as fertilizer. Spores are looking for fertilizer. You know, muddy territory. Look at the difference between a pond and a river. A pond has muck, scum. You know, a totally different type of life grows in ponds than in a moving water, right? You're not going to find bass, a freshwater fish. You're not going to find them in a pond. They'll die. Because they need alkalinized water. Your body needs alkalinized. It needs to be alkaline. Okay. If not, you're basically turning into a pond. And what happens? The type of things that would grow in an acidic body is going to start growing in your body because of the low voltage. When them spores and all that go into your body and them parasites, they see basically they're like, oh, I just found a new pond. Not I just oh shit, I'm in a river, I'm about to die. No, they just found a pond with full of low voltage cells. So now what they start doing is they make themselves a home and they start growing and growing and growing. And then you develop something. Now this is something I want you brothers and sisters to look up. They develop something called biofilm, right? Biofilm, what that is a fortress that they build. You know, and the fortress is made of polysaccharides, which is basically cement. They build a freaking cement wall. I'll give you an example. Plaque. When you have plaque on your teeth, right? You got to go to the dentist. They got to scrape that bitch off with them tools. That's an example. That's biofilm. So parasites, bacteria, viruses, they form biofilm anywhere in your body. It could be in your brain. It could be in your gut. It could be in your pancreas. It could even be in your rod. For you men out there, even in your rod, there's a symptom. I forgot what the hell it's called. I forgot the name of it. Per something, but it's a situation with dudes out there where they got so much biofilm hardened in the rod that the rod starts doing a twist and turns, and the rod gets into a crazy ass shape, you know, because it got biofilm. Well, this is what happens when you start eating shitty. You start developing biofilm in your body. Then you get disease, and this is where you get chronic diseases and chronic infections, you know, like sinus issues, allergies, stuff that just seems to never go away, or they give you antibiotics, and 2 days later, either the antibiotics don't work, or 2 days later, you're back with the same situation. That's because of the biofilm. The reason why these pathogens develop biofilm is because antibiotics cannot penetrate the biofilms. It's a goddamn fortress. Even our own immune system can't penetrate the biofilm. And them little mother effers, they hide and they form colonies behind the biofilm. And they produce different chemicals where they talk to each other. They speak to each other and they organize a goddamn army. And they form this freaking, this fortress in your body. And you can't get rid of it. It's very, very difficult to get rid of biofilm. Another thing they do is what I was saying about the GMO foods. Is what they do. All they do is they imitate these critters, and what these critters do is behind this biofilm, they send out chemicals to your brain to make you think that you're hungry, and then you go out there and you go buy food, and then You go buy food, and if you got enough parasites, you might even still, you might eat all this goddamn food, but you're still skinny. Is because Timmy and fucking all them, you got Timmy, you got all these parasites in there partying. You know what I'm saying? They just partying up in there, having a goddamn party. They having a fucking all you can eat. You know what I'm saying? You're feeding them. And then what they're doing is they're releasing, they're shitting in your bloodstream, this and that. You see? All of this could be avoided with a proper diet. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you got certain brothers, they're you know, they're into this stuff. And so seek them brothers out to help you out, man. That's why we're a body. That's why we are a body. You know? And the body works best if we're alkaline. We have an alkaline state of mind, alkaline spirit. We got to keep the spirit of this body alkaline, right? We are the temple of the Most High. 1 Corinthians 3:16. So let me read on. It says, and I had to say all that so you can understand what we're reading here, why it's important. And this verse here, verse 19, a very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured, and he fetcheth not his wind short upon his bed. Another thing is brothers that have trouble sleeping, snore. When you, many times when you have trouble sleeping and when you're snoring, when it says fetch wind short upon his bed, that's referring to brothers out there, brothers and sisters that have trouble breathing in their sleep, breathing period, but especially breathing in your sleep, you know, sleep apnea or catching your breath, you know, fetcheth not his wind short upon his bed. Many a times it's because your gut is stuffed with food or is backed up with food. And here it is, you're sitting down and all that gut is compressing your lungs and compressing all your organs. And so you have trouble sleeping. Verse 20, sound sleep cometh of moderate eating. He riseth early, you get up much earlier with no alarm clock, and you have a clear head, and you're ready to just jump into whatever. You know, it changes your state of mind. Like I said, they send chemicals and signals to your brain. When you get rid of them shits disappear. So that's less interference with your brain. He rises early and his wits are with him. But the pain of watching and choler and pangs of the belly are with an insatiable man. Right. They get kidney stones. You get what's called, what do you call that thing? You get what's called heel spurs. Man, you get all types of stuff. You might get headaches. If you stop eating, you get headaches because those chemicals you're going through withdrawal systems. I mean, there's so many things that you get that could be avoided just by eating properly. Verse 21, it says, if thou hast been forced to eat, arise, go forth, vomit, and thou shalt have rest. And I mean, it's the scriptures, and this is King Solomon, advised so strongly against eating too much that King Solomon said, like, yo, if you eat too much or if you've been forced to eat too much, man, just go vomit. Go to the length of vomiting. You know, and Apostle Gabar was bringing this out in Rome. They had the vomitarium, you know, which is something I'm going to look into, where they would eat so much food that they would vomit it up, you know. Verse 22 says, my son, hear me and despise me not, and at the last thou shalt find as I told thee, meaning you'll feel much better. And in all thy works be quick, so there shall be no sickness among thee. Verse 23. Now this is where I'm going into, like, you know, people talking shit about you and all that. Verse 23. Whoso is liberal of his meat, men shall speak well of him, and the report of his good housekeeping will be believed. Right. But against him that is a niggard of his meat, the whole city shall murmur. Meaning they're going to talk shit about you, talk sideways. You see? And the testimonies of his niggardness shall not be doubted of. Right? So that's it on that, man. You know, that's it on that, brothers and sisters. I just wanted to read that and bring out that information. And with that, I'm going to say all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Shalom.